good, guys? It's your girl Aubrey. Welcome back to our channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video that I was kind of on the fence about doing just because I had a weird feeling, but I'm gonna just do this video anyway, get it out of the way, because I feel like it's good to just talk about it because I never really talked about it. But I'm going to be talking about my paranormal experiences, if you cannot tell that by the title. So I'm gonna just be talking about 4 of my paranormal experiences just for the sake of this video. I don't want it to be crazy long. Before we get into this video, make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button. Also make sure you guys click that also make sure you guys click that notification bell so you guys will be notified as we are uploading content. And with all that being said, let's get into this video. I'm rating these experiences from like least scary to the scariest. So the very first paranormal experience that I had, I want to say I was around like 11 or 12 years old, and me and my parents were living in apartments at the time, and we had only been living there for a good 2-3 weeks when this experience happened to me. So I remember it was nighttime. I was getting ready to call it a night. I remember changing into my pajamas and everything. I was about to lay in the bed, and I make it to my bed. I got one leg in the bed, about to swing the other one over, and then right diagonal from me, I had a little table, and on top of that table was my jewelry box. I had like a big jewelry box. It was like this tall, this wide. And on top of that jewelry box, because it was a flat surface, I had these playing cards. And they were Hello Kitty themed playing cards. And they were not in the box. I was playing with them before I went to sleep. Or before I planned on going to sleep. So they were stacked up, sitting on top of the jewelry box. I don't know where the box of them were, but they were stacked up on top of that. So as I'm about to bring my other leg into the bed, these playing cards fly off of my jewelry box. And I'm not talking about maybe they just kind of slide it down. No, boom, they just fell down onto the floor. So I'm like, just sitting there, I'm frozen. I'm like, okay, what the heck is this? What is this? What is happening right now? I got up and I went, and as I'm like getting over there, I'm thinking, okay, maybe somehow one of the legs to my jewelry box broke and it slid, or maybe my table was not level at that moment and it fell down. I'm thinking there's no way that's possible, because if my jewelry box was slanted or one of the legs was like leaning or messed up, my cards would have been sliding down as soon as I put them on top of that jewelry box. It wouldn't have waited until I got in my undergarments and was getting in the bed to slide off. That just physically, that's impossible. It doesn't make any sense. So I got up, I checked, I picked up my cards and I put them back up there, and I just sat there and waited to see if it would happen again, and it never happened again. And that freaked me out. I don't think I went to bed that night, or at least I struggled to go to bed, because I was really paranoid considering what happened in my last place, which you guys will hear about soon. But that right there scared the bejeebers out of me, considering we had not even been living there a full month and stuff was already hitting the fan. I'm like, no, seriously, like, why me? Why? What the heck is going on? You know, because I just want to sleep in peace. I don't want to worry about cars flying off into my face giving me paper cuts at night. You know, I don't want to typically go to bed and worry about that kind of stuff, you know. Alright, so that was the first thing that, it wasn't as scary, but it was still enough to freak me out and make me feel uneasy living there. The next paranormal experience I had took place at my grandmother's house. This house she had been living in all of my life at that time. So there was this one day we had just got to her house and she had to use the bathroom really bad. So she goes into the restroom and she closes the door, and I'm just sitting outside of the restroom. We're just having a conversation. And just some background story. In this house, my great-grandfather lived in this house, which was my grandmother's father. He lived in this house all the way up until his passing. So she lived there even after that. So this house had a lot of history going on. And but anyways, back to the story now. In my grandma's living room, because that's the view I have from, if you're sitting in front of this restroom door, all you see is like the living room. It was a pretty spacious living room. So there's the living room, and in the corner there is a grandfather clock. And if you guys do not know what that is, it's just this really big clock, and on the hour, when the hour changes, it chimes however many times. So if it's 2 o'clock, it's gonna chime twice. If it's 8 o'clock, it's gonna chime 8 times. I want to say it was like 7 o'clock on the dot, the grandfather clock starts to chime, and as it's chiming, right, my view, like where I'm sitting right in front of me across the room, it is my grandmother's TV, and it was a bigger TV, and it turns on by itself. So at this point, she's talking to me while she's still in the restroom, but I'm outside of the restroom. I'm not even, at this point, I'm not even responding to her, because I'm like, this TV just turned on by itself. And I was always going over my grandmother's house, spending the night weeks at a time. So I know that wasn't normal. I know I've never seen that happen in her house before. So I'm like, okay, this is really throwing me off. I don't know what's going on. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe she has the remote with her in the bathroom and she just turned it on because I don't know. Maybe she just turned it on from the bathroom or something. But no, I get up and I walk towards the TV, and I see that the remote is on the armrest of her couch. So I'm like, okay, I can throw that idea out the window right now. Then I'm thinking, okay, maybe at some point when I wasn't here, she set that TV up on a timer to always turn on at 7 o'clock. You know, I'm thinking maybe that's happened, but I'm like, no, because I'm here all the time. That's never happened. So, and I've been with her the whole day. I know what she did that whole day. So I know that was not even a possibility. So I end up telling her, I'm like, Mimi, because that's what I call her. Mimi, the TV, it turned on by itself as soon as the grandfather clock started going off. The TV turned on by itself, and I don't know why. So she was like, just nonchalant. Yeah, my dad knows that I love to watch the news at 7, so he turns on the TV for me now at 7 o'clock. And I'm thinking, like, going down the family tree, like, so she said her dad, meaning that's my great grandfather that passed away already. And his room was still put together how it was even before his passing. So I look across the hall and I just see his room, and I'm just like, he's not alive, you know? Like, how's he turned? Because I was younger back then. I want to say even back then I had to be like 4 or 5, like anywhere between like 5 and 7. I was anywhere between that age. So at that point I'm like, how is that possible? Is he invisible? You know, I don't know, because I wasn't taught that at that point. I was so young still. So I'm like, I don't really know what is this? What is this? So that really, it was scary. I had to think of it in a positive light, like, okay, even in his passing, he's still here for her, doing things for her. But another part of me was like, that's really scary, because I know he's passed away. Physically, he is not here. So how is this possible? You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't doing research back then. Like, I didn't have a cell phone back then. Google wasn't popping back then, you know? So I couldn't just research, like, how is this possible? What is this? You know what I mean? So being older now, being 20, I obviously have better understanding of how this stuff is possible. But back then I was so confused and so scared. I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? What is going on? What is happening? So this next paranormal experience took place in the house that I was born into. So I want to say I was maybe around 5-6 years old, and my room was upstairs. My parents' room was downstairs, so I had the room to myself because I'm the only child. So I was up there coloring. I remember specifically I was coloring in a Bratz coloring book, because Bratz was that thing for me in my childhood. My childhood was so lit with the Bratz. But anyways, I was coloring in this coloring book, and I'm on the edge of my bed. So my body is I'm sitting on the floor, but my upper body is like hunched over the bed, and I have the coloring book sitting on my bed, and I'm coloring that way. So the way that I'm sitting, I'm facing like this, and in this view I have another room connected to my room, but there's no door, so you can see right into this room. And I called it the back room because it literally was like the back room of my room. And from a previous birthday party, my mom had like these little string thing, like these beads that hung down, since like I said there was no door. You could see right through, so it was like these little bead things that covered the doorway, so if you walk through you had to move the beads out of the way like that. So I could still see in that room. But so I remember coloring, seeing it, and that's my view. So as I'm coloring, something just tells me to look up. So I look up into the back room, and all I see is a shirt fly across the room in that back room. And in that back room, like I said, our clothes and everything were back there, but there was it looked like a bookshelf, but it wasn't used for books. We took our shirts and all that, anything extra that could not fit like in our dressers in our actual room would go in that room. So we had a lot of shirts up there. I saw one of those shirts fly across the room in that back room, and then the beads that were hanging in that doorway moved just enough to where it resembled like if I were to walk through, just enough so my body could get through. It shifted like that, so just enough for something or someone to get through there. It freaked me out so bad, and this was my first time ever at that point noticing, like, having anything like that happen to me. That's the first time in my life ever that I can recall. So I did not know what to think, guys. I didn't know. I'm like this little 5-year-old girl seeing this stuff happening. I'm the only one to witness it. I didn't tell my parents because I'm like, they're gonna think I need to go take a nap. They're gonna think I'm crazy. So I didn't tell them anything about it until I got way older. But that really freaked me out, seeing that happen, and I felt threatened because it wasn't like, oh, let me just, you know, levitate this shirt to the other side. No, it flew across the room. So something wanted my attention, and it got it. It definitely got it at that point. It got it. I don't remember what I did after that, but that's something that I will never forget happening. Now, the last experience I had that has to be about the craziest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life by something or someone that I cannot even see to get an explanation why they did this to me. I was set up by a ghost, y'all. I was straight up set up by a ghost. It was still the daytime. It was actually pretty early in the day. I had got in trouble. So I don't remember what I did, but all I remember is my dad told me I need to go up to my room. I need to take a nap. That was my timeout. Go upstairs to take a nap. Reevaluate your life. Think about what you did. So I went up to my room, but I wasn't really asleep for real. You know, I was just sitting there sad, mad, like in my feelings, like while I'm up here I could be outside riding my bike. You know, I was just really upset. I was really upset. And I want to say I was around this same age. All this stuff took place around the same age in this house. Like, I was around like 5 or 6. Like, anywhere between like 5 to 7. I was anywhere in there. So, I'm in my bed. I'm laying down. I feel myself dozing off. So, I know I dozed off a couple times. But for the most part, I didn't take a legit nap. So, all I know is my dad comes storming up my steps like, why did you come downstairs in the kitchen? I told you to take a nap. Why are you getting up? And I'm like, I didn't get up. I've been laying in this bed till you come tell me to get up. I have not gotten up. I don't know what you're talking about, man. What? So at this point, I'm like, no, I don't. And at that age, I was going through this phase where I was lying about everything. I lied about the most stupid stuff. It was like the boy who cried wolf. If I said I didn't do something, my parents would not believe me because I was lying so much that they just could not believe anything I said anymore. So I'm telling my dad, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. My dad was like, come downstairs, come downstairs. So he goes downstairs first, and when you come downstairs, if you go to the right, our kitchen is right there. So he's like in the kitchen, and he was like, why did you come in the kitchen and get some bread? I'm like, Dad, I didn't come down here and get no bread. What are you talking about? So he's like, I heard somebody come down those stairs. And he was like, the stool is right here. There was literally a stool that we had in our kitchen. It was moved into the front of the refrigerator, and our bread box was open. And I'm like, I I didn't do it. I'm trying to tell my dad, I did not do it. I did not. I promise you, I swear on my life, my mama's life, everybody's life, I did not do this. I did not come downstairs to get some bread. You think I'm just gonna come down here and eat a piece of bread? No, no. You can check my bag, check all that, find crumbs. Like, he did not believe me, and I got in trouble for that, and I was so mad. Even to this day, I'm so mad. I told my dad some years ago, like, Dad, remember when this happened, I really didn't do it. I really never went downstairs. Like, I never did that. And he was like, are you serious? I'm like, Dad, I'm being dead serious. I never did that. I've never been set up by ghost, spirit. I don't know who it was. I don't know why it happened to me. I felt like it was it was real childish. So if there was the presence of someone younger in our household, they clearly didn't like me, or they clearly like to be childish and set me up. You know what I'm saying? But when that happened, I was so scared to be in that house at that point. And like I said, my parents didn't believe me. So when a lot of that paranormal stuff would happen to me throughout my life, I would never tell them, because I'm like, they're not gonna believe me. Because when one of the craziest paranormal things happened to me, my own dad, he did not believe me. And I mean, if my kids came to me saying that, if I seen that, I wouldn't believe them either, to be honest. I'd be like, are you crazy? The ghost did it. What you gonna say now? Now the dog did, like, I wouldn't believe my kids either. But since I went through the situation and my kids say that, I'm gonna be like, part of me gonna be like, the same thing happened to me. I know how you feel. Those are my paranormal experiences. I have way more, but for the sake of this video, like I said in the beginning, I'm not gonna make this video 20 minutes long. So yeah, there you have it, guys. I got it out my chest. It felt good to talk about. Well, with all that being said, I love you guys. Bye.